Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, February 17th. Happy President's Day to everyone.
Let's go.
This is the Pat McAfee Show. I am not he. Pat is traveling back to the mainland as we speak, so you're going to have to deal with me, Tony DeGilio, for the next 2 hours as I steer this beautiful ship through icy waters. All I'm trying to do here is not ruin the show today. And we're gonna bring you some great news, some great content. We have NBA All-Star Weekend. We have the Astros scandal. We have the XFL. We have the NFL quarterback carousel going around. Nick's going to be here with some news. Speaking of that, Nick Moraldo is on the ones and twos. Next to me is Ty Schmidt. Jay McAfee's on the board, making sure everything sounds great. We got Cuban Zeke. Evan Foxy's back in. Connor's on the phones. You can reach him at 833-622-3331. Before we get into all of that, Foxy, play me some Chase Rice.
It's the perfect occasion for a mental vacation from the heart of the nation. Not your medication, 2 hours of magic. Let's give it a go. Ladies and gents, it's the Pat McAfee Show. It's the Pat McAfee Show.
Before we get into everything, big shout out to AJ Hawk for hosting last week.
Yep.
When I was watching, AJ did a great job. When I was watching AJ, it gives you such an appreciation for what Pat does. Pat is so good at this, so good at interviewing, so good at talking about everything. Like, last week things had to be, stretched out a little bit, Let's get to 2 hours. Pat has to literally talk as fast as he can to get everything that he wants to talk about in 2 hours. He's incredible at this job. Thank him for this opportunity for me today. All right, start with NBA All-Star Weekend. I thought it was great. I thought everything was great. Even the drama with the dunk contest on Saturday night even added to it. The fourth quarter last night was incredible with those changes. The celebrity game stinks. The quote-unquote celebrity game. There was maybe 3 celebrities in there. But with all of that, what did you guys think of the NBA All-Star Weekend?
Yeah, I didn't get to watch much of the game or anything. I was driving back here last night, but the celebrity game, that's an issue. It's an issue. I mean, I guess you don't have to watch it, but that leads into the dunk contest, right?
No, it's Friday. It's the night before.
The night before.
But still.
Anyway, especially when they show all the celebrities that are at the dunk contest and at the game and stuff. It's like there are people there that can get into this, and as opposed to having the guy who created 2K. The Bucks co-owner was the worst basketball player I've ever seen, and he dominated the ball the majority of the game. It's just I don't know. I personally think that a lot of people would want to play in that game. Yes. It seems like it could be fun and competitive and entertaining, and I don't think it ever has.
Did Lil Dicky play?
No.
That's surprising.
No,
that should have been the number one guy they got to play in that game.
I mean, there's a bunch of celebrity, the dudes who run at that famous gym in New York all the time, who the videos come out of them playing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just have them come there, play their normal game as the NBA All-Star. The Bucks owner is absurd for being there. I did enjoy Stephen A. as a coach and Guy Fieri as co-coach, but it gave me hope. Maybe next year, Pat's definitely playing in it in Indianapolis.
He has to.
But with a list of people that were on there, we could probably maybe get in that game potentially.
Squeeze our way in there.
Maybe Foxy can shoot in there. I'm not sure. So I thought, even with the controversy, and this might be a bad take, I thought Derek Jones had the better overall night versus Aaron Gordon, even though Aaron Gordon's dunk over Taco Fall was better than Derek Jones's last dunk. I know Zito disagrees. Zito thought Aaron Gordon was robbed.
He was robbed for sure. Well, how tall is Taco?
7'5".
Yep. Exactly.
Aaron Gordon jumped over Chance the Rapper. There was way too many jumping over people. The entire dunk contest was people jumping over other people, and they were just all dunks that we've seen before. The dunk contest for me has lost a little bit.
Okay, here's the question. Because some people hate the gimmicks when they bring out the birthday cake, the cupcake years ago. I mean, that stuff kind of wastes my time. But then you see a dunk contest like this year, and they're just jumping over people. That got really boring pretty quick.
It did, especially because I don't know who Derek Jones's dudes were, but they thought they were more important than the dunk contest.
No
the
idea.
guys that he was jumping over, and then Aaron Gordon jumped over Chance like 4 times. That was his. Pat Connaughton got ripped off.
He did.
He did. Big time.
I was shocked when they said he has a 44-inch vertical. That
Yeah.
is so high.
He might be the most athletic dude of all. He throws like 99 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
He has a 44-inch vertical. He's probably good at everything he does. Coming out as Billy Hoyle. Power move. And then he jumped over Giannis on his second one to get 50. I think maybe there should be more than 2 people in the final round. Maybe. I don't know what you guys think.
The judges' system's flawed, clearly. Like, it's just not a fair competition.
Well, I think clearly. So they came out. Common said we thought it was going to be tied at the end. We were like, this is a tie, but somebody didn't do it right. I don't know who it is. So basically, one of the judges couldn't add. And I think it was D Wade because he was the other 9.
Yeah, he's taking the blame.
And he should. And I think it was kind of homerish because he did it for the Heat player versus Aaron Gordon who plays for the Magic. So it was a little fishy in that right.
How about people comparing that dunk contest to some of the greatest of all time? Like, I completely disagree with that.
No, it was not. I mean, the one a few years ago when Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine went and Aaron Gordon jumped over a Muppet. He did, and I thought the best dunk of the night was when Aaron Gordon went off the side of the hoop.
I agree. That was
did
awesome.
the 360 windmill.
Yes.
I rewatched the one with him and Zach LaVine back. He did the same thing, but it was off of the dude when it was spinning around on like the 2-wheel thing that Pat has on the hoverboard.
Sure.
The
Yeah.
hoverboard.
Underrated dunk of the night was the Pat guy, the 44-inch vertical guy, when he jumped over a guy, tapped it on the backboard, and then dunked it.
Yeah, that was over Giannis.
It didn't look good, but the difficulty of that is incredible.
Yeah, for sure. And his problem was he did the same dunk, but like he didn't change
No, he
things
didn't.
up at all. I think you should just have all 4 guys go the entire time. Like you don't need to eliminate 2 after the first 2 dunks.
Right.
Unless one of the guys, Dwight Howard, and he should have stopped doing dunk contests probably 8 years ago.
100%.
Yeah, and then he planned to do like the whole Kobe thing.
Well, that was
so,
good.
I mean,
It was a great shout out. And actually, I was given a hard time on Saturday night, and then they showed it last night. And from the side, they compared the last time he did the Superman dunk to this time. They're actually very similar. I mean, Dwight still got it a little bit, but I mean, they could have probably found someone else who, when you're 7 foot, 6'12",
Yeah.
6'11", sorry, the dunks just don't look as good. But I didn't realize there's not a lot of dunks.
Here's what I don't understand. I will never understand why they can't just get the big time players to do it.
Well, because they have to incentivize it. There's no reason for those guys to do it. If you put like $500K on the line or something like that, or $150K, like those guys would probably want to come in and actually do it. But at this point, there's really no incentive for doing it.
Also, I understand that Zion is a little injured, but they
Yeah.
had to get him in there, man.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine again would have been awesome in Chicago. Like, I don't get it.
Ja Morant too, who's
Yes.
already said that he doesn't want to do it next year. Too, it doesn't make any sense. The rookies should have to do it.
Yeah, if you've been in the league maybe less than 4 or 5 years, and maybe it could go to a fan vote, and the fans vote on who they want in the dunk contest, that would be ideal.
That'd be a
But
good
I guess
idea.
you can't make people do it. So incentivizing it, that's kind of what they did with the NBA All-Star Game, where if you won a quarter,
Yep.
$100,000 went to the charity that you were playing for. And it seemed like it worked because Team LeBron won the first quarter. And then Giannis came out and had like 24 points in the
Yeah,
second
they
quarter.
outscored him by like 20 points.
So
didn't they?
it looked like they were actually going for it. And then the same with the third. And then the fourth quarter was awesome. So they had 50 fast break points, quarters 1 through 3. They had 0 in the fourth quarter. It was actually like playoff intensity. And I was trying to think of a way that you could get playoff that intensity for all 4 quarters. It's probably not doable.
No.
But I thought maybe, so there's 20 guys. There's 20 All-Stars, 10 guys on each team. If you split that to 4 teams of 5 and maybe just did a 4-team tournament, and each of those tournament games was played to the 24 like that fourth quarter was.
Ooh,
And your
Tony.
team still won money for the charities and stuff like that. And then the winning team at the end then had a money bonus on top of it. I thought that was possibly the way that you could have the game played the entire time like it was in the fourth quarter.
It might work for a little bit. It's kind of what the NHL did when they went to the 3-on-3 tournament. But then now it's been a couple years of that, and now it's lost its luster as well.
just don't
It's just
care.
it's All-Star Game is meant for children. Like there's no way to make it aggressive or make the players play hard. There's just no way to do it because the guys have too much on the line. They don't want to get hurt.
And I think part of the reason or most of the reason why they were playing hard this year was probably 99% of Kobe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Kobe always played hard in All-Star games, so they wanted to do that for him. And it was awesome that they awarded the 2 and the 24, and then the NBA, the trophy, the MVP that Kawhi won is named after him. I thought all of it was great, and probably a lot of the hard play was because of Kobe. But I would love to see it carry over like that, because that was probably the best All-Star game that I watched in the last 20 years easily.
sure.
Same deal. I mean, the NBA just does it right. Like, their All-Star weekend compared to everyone else's is just so much better. I mean, and even we're talking about, like, the dunk contest was pretty good, but still kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
The celebrity game stunk. Like, but still, the whole weekend is about as good as you can ask. You can ask for in like an All-Star setting.
Even the skills competition and the 3-point, like Bam Adebayo, that was cool. And then Buddy Hield he won the 3-point contest on the very last shot.
Another underrated. I don't know if you guys watched the Rising Stars Challenge.
Yeah, that's good too.
And the very end of it, like the last 2 minutes when they were all throwing up dunks, Zion was doing it, John Morant was doing it. That was really fun to watch, even though they missed every single one.
It's definitely the best. I said it last night. I think it's the best All-Star game weekend for any of the sports, just because, like, I think the NBA gets their fan base better than any other sport. So they know what to do. Like having Dame Lillard come out and perform on Saturday night was hysterical.
Hey.
It was pretty cool.
Well, yeah, their athletes have the most personality, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the biggest showcase for them to just go out and interact with the fans and people, and it lends itself to that. It's easy for them.
It lends itself to taking over Twitter too. I mean, it's very easy to just clip those dunks out. That's whatever, like you can't do that for the Pro Bowl. I mean, unless there's like a big hit, and there's none of those anymore. You can't really do it in NHL unless there's a crazy goal. Like, I mean, the dunk contest lends itself to, like, that's all people are talking about.
See, I think they should have pushed the edge a little bit more in the dunk contest. And I said this to Diggs when we were watching on Saturday. I think they need to add in more current event type stuff to make it like not a social message, but like, okay, so they brought out a couple TikTok influencers, right?
That was
One of the
worst
guys,
part.
and that was terrible. But like, if you dunked over a guy in an Astros uniform who was banging on a trash can or something, and just took like a little subtle shot at somebody, I think that's a way to amp it up a little bit.
Yeah, when they brought out the TikTok, I hate TikTok. So these are just normal people doing dances that other people have created.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting.
Essentially, yeah.
That's what it is. That girl out there had has 27 million TikTok followers.
That's absurd.
Yes.
But it wasn't even part of the dunk, though. They just brought them out to half court,
That's
had
why I
them
hated
do
it.
their dance, and then he dunked. You know what? That was probably why Aaron Gordon lost. That was most likely why. And, hey, I thought MVP of the entire weekend was Shaka Khan. That national anthem was spot on. Zeke?
She's a Chicago sweetheart, but she didn't end it well. She started off really well.
Did you like the common tribute to Chicago / Kobe
Oh,
in the
it was
beginning?
so good. That and the priest thing for the game. What was it like?
They were heavy on Chicago.
Oh, because it was in Chicago.
Oh, weren't you supposed to rebound the 3-point contest?
Yeah, those guys
And you
deboed
said
me out of it.
You said on Friday it was because Make-A-Wish kids were doing it, and Adam Silver said it was for children. But
I was supposed to be the bucket guy, though.
We watched the 3-point contest.
Yeah, I was supposed
And
to
it
be
was
the guy in the
all
bucket,
older
though.
guys who actually looked just like you. I think you got lied to.
I got typecasted.
Or you lied to us for the 12th time in a row.
No. I was supposed to be the bucket guy, catching the balls and putting in the bucket.
All right,
And
so
those kids were all kids.
Wait, Tony,
yeah.
you enjoyed that national anthem more than Fergie's? It's tough.
Fergie's was tough.
Hey,
Fergie's
it
was
was a
epic.
tough week for Shaka Khan. She got voted off the Masked Singer. She was Miss Monster.
No
she was-
way.
She was a big star back in the day. When you get voted off a singing competition and then you go and bomb the national anthem
As a singer.
it's hard. It's hard.
Has she ever heard the song before? That's not what it sounds like. That's not the national anthem.
The cadence was not great.
You can't just go up there and be like, screw it. I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want. No one's going to care. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Also, did you guys hear what Aaron Gordon had to say after the dunk
Oh,
contest?
yeah. Sorry, you have a video.
Yep.
Throw to the video.
Let's do it.
That's on me. First time host.
We're here to do 4 dunks. You know what I mean? So it's out of 4 dunks. It should be the best out of 4 dunks. I did 4 straight 50s, 5 straight 50s. Right. That's over. It's a wrap. You know? Let's go home. 4 50s in a row in the NBA dunk contest. It's over. But I don't know. Who's running the show?
I mean, he's not wrong. And LeBron tweeted that Aaron Gordon's now been robbed twice.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely thought he should have won the one against Zach LaVine, but Zach LaVine was incredible in that one too. So it wasn't like as big of a deal as this one. I mean, I guess Derrick Jones was good too. Do you have Giannis talking about the fourth quarter?
Yep, hold on. done.
Oh Jesus!
I thought Derek Jones, I don't follow the NBA at all. Everyone knows
Yeah,
this. I thought Derek Jones' dunks looked more impressive. I think
did.
he looked
more
more
power behind
athletic
it.
doing it. I thought it looked more easy to him, and I was watching it like I was blown away.
Because when he did the over the top of the people through the legs, he did it with ease, and Aaron Gordon was doing it over chance and didn't make it look
still
as
incredibly
good.
impressive, but it looked a little more stiff or something. I don't know. It just didn't come off as smooth.
Okay, how did you guys feel about everyone wanting it to be a tie? Everyone saying it's over. We got to give them both the trophy. No, it clearly isn't because those are all the judges that wanted to do that, like Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, they're
that drove
pandering
me
to you.
absolutely
No,
insane.
Dwayne Wade's part of your society. That's who he is.
He was
okay?
also boozed out of his mind. So I don't know if he knew.
No, because I guess they wanted to go to a tie, and then judges collectively wanted to review all the dunks and then vote for one winner, which I would have been okay with that, I think.
If they could figure out a way to do like fan voting and get Twitter involved and get the people in the stadium involved, I think that would be incredible.
Well, they tried to do
they
that
did.
one year. Like I think
They had a
Chase
fan
Buttinger won or something like that. I remember it being like one of the worst dunk contests of all time.
You mean Arizona volleyball player Chase Buttinger?
Yeah, exactly. It came down to like the fan vote, and it was just like, I mean, it was really hard to please because like in most people's eyes, he definitely didn't win, but then he won the fan vote, so technically he won. Like it was a big travesty.
All right, let's go to a break. And then after the break, we'll get to the phones, 833-622-3331. We'll talk a little NFL, Astros, XFL. Nick actually has some hockey talk. I don't know if we're going to get to that or not or whatever. But appreciate you for listening. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. Pat is on his way back to the mainland, so I am taking responsibility for not ruining the show today. I am Tony DeGilio. I'm joined by all the boys in studio. It's Monday, February 17th, 10:21 Eastern. Happy President's Day.
Happy President's Day.
By the way, my favorite president is Van Buren. Shout out the Van Buren boys.
Good pick.
I don't know. It is a pretty good pick. He's probably one of the best. Let's go to the phones. Connor, who we got?
All right, we got Dylan in Indiana.
Dylan, what's up, buddy?
How's it going? You're doing a great job hosting, Dig.
Thanks, pal. I appreciate it. What's up?
So I'll let you guys pick. I either got NBA talk or MLB talk.
NBA.
Okay. Do you think they keep the current format with like team captains picking the All-Star games? Or I heard Charles Barkley on the tip-off show suggest that they go to like USA versus the world. I think that would be kind of cool, getting like Giannis to play against like LeBron and all the other, non-American players that are in the league.
Appreciate the call, Dylan. Yeah, I like how they do that with the Rising Stars.
Yeah.
USA versus the world.
Giannis did play against LeBron last night, though. Let's just clarify that real quick.
He did. I definitely think they're going to stick with the team captains because there was actually a special on Chris Paul this morning. I think it was on ESPN. It was actually his idea to go to the team captains because I think 2015 or 2016, something like that. He just said the game had gotten really stale, and that was a way to amp things up a little bit and I guess play for pride for your team and your captain. I think they're going to at least stick with that for a while. I don't think they're going back to East to West anytime soon.
No.
The only I don't know.
It's tough to replicate what they have from last night. Last night was awesome.
Correct, and there's also a risk if you go USA versus international that you're going to not have enough international talent.
I don't think
in
you
the
can
league.
do that. That works for the Rising Stars game because more and more guys. I mean, that's what
because
happens.
they come in early.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know if they're bad or not yet.
Right. You get to look at last night. I don't know what the disparity was between the two, but there were definitely way more All-Stars from the U.S. than there were the world.
Yeah.
You
And there always will be.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be able to really feel the team. Either that or it wouldn't be competitive at all.
Connor bet on Team USA on Friday or Saturday. Did they win? It's Friday.
Yes, they did by 20 points, too.
See, you don't want that. You don't want the USA winning by 20 points every single year in the All-Star game.
I want the USA to win every time.
Obviously. But for viewership, you want a little bit of entertainment and excitement.
That is entertainment to me, damn it.
You are a red-blooded
great
American, my friend. Connor, who's next?
We have Phil in Chattanooga. You want to do some Andy Dalton talk.
What do you got, Phil?
Hey, Tony Eggs, you're doing a great job, man.
Appreciate it, buddy. What's going on?
Yeah, Patricia Cromwell got me on the phone line. Thank you for that. But all these quarterbacks are moving around, but I only really care about a few. I only care about the elites, like the Red Rocket, baby. So I know this is Overreaction Monday, but I'm dead serious. If Andy Dalton goes to the Panthers with Matt Rule and Joe Brady, he's throwing 60 touchdowns and winning the MVP.
I mean, Phil, I like the take.
Phil, I mean, I love the take. I don't mind Dalton in Carolina because I think he's an upgrade from Will Grier.
Mm-hmm.
And who else did they have this year? Kyle Allen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think he's an upgrade there. And I think I like. So I'm a Steelers fan. I had to play against Andy Dalton a lot of time. He'll get you wins. He's not gonna lose games. He's not that upper tier level of quarterback. So that brings me into something that we wanted to do today. So for one season, I'm going to ask the room. These quarterbacks that are talking about being on the move. Brady, Dak, Rivers, Breeze, Bridgewater, Tannehill, Cam, Dalton, Alex Smith. Who would you want next season for one season? Pretend they're healthy for all season. Who would you want to lead your team for one season?
If I only have one season and they're same ages, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There
Well,
right now,
no, they're at their
healthy.
current ages. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'd take Cam if he's 100%
Really?
healthy. Yeah, because I don't really count Breeze in that because he's not switching teams. Like he's either going to go back to New Orleans or he's going to retire.
Yeah.
But if Cam is healthy, circa like 2015 Cam, I think I'm taking him.
You guys are out of your mind. Brady. It's the only answer.
No, it's not
Yes,
Brady.
it is. If it's
Thank
1
you.
year and you got any guy on that list you want, he's got the most knowledge out of anyone. The guy knows the
Does
game
he?
inside out. He's got experience to the roof. His arm's falling off a little bit, but come on.
He's
1
stunk
year,
this year. He's
you can
stunk.
shoehorn
He is
him.
stink.
You can shoehorn him into any team for 1 year and make it work.
I don't-
And you give yourself a better shot to win than anyone else on that
You can't
list.
put him on a team that throws the ball more than 15 yards downfield.
Sure, you can. If they have receivers who can get open.
Connor?
I mean, there's only one right answer to this question, Tony.
Who is it?
We all know it's Brady. An MVP Cam Newton is very intriguing, though, but it's Brady. He gives you the best chance to win a Super Bowl. He has the most experience. He has the most playoff wins in NFL history. Tony. So, I mean, you got to go with Tom.
So are you saying that the Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl next year? Because Brady's for sure going there.
2 years,
Yeah.
60,
Yeah.
2 years, 60 million,
mil.
Connor.
Oh, yeah, exactly what the Patriots offered him. I mean, I don't think it really matters.
No, they said they're going to pay him 30 for one.
$30 million for 2 years. 60 million, right? I mean, that we're talking about X's and O's here. That's the same thing. Come on.
Boys in the back room. Zito, who you taking?
Brady.
Attaboy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a big Brady guy sometimes.
Foster?
Chicago.
Okay, he's not on the list.
Hey, you could pick Stafford because he was
Trust
rumored
me.
to be traded next
I was
week.
going to get there. He wasn't on the list last week. I'm on vacation. Wake up to a tweet saying the Lions are rumored to trade Matthew Stafford. I about threw up on the spot. I'm taking Matthew Stafford. He's got at least 2 good years in him. This is saying his broken back's healed, right? Like under
Oh,
this
yeah.
scenario,
Yeah.
his broken back's healed. He's got a lot to prove still. Stafford's my quarterback.
I'm for 1 year. I know, and yeah, it's either retirement or staying with his current team, like you said.
Right.
But I'm taking Breeze for 1 year.
Ooh.
I mean, he's
like
still throwing for 400 yards a game every once in a while.
He's not lucky enough. He's not. Brady's got the luck factor. So many things had to go right for
like
him to
that.
win all those Super Bowls. Breeze, these
So many
devastating
things.
losses the past couple years. Just terrible luck. You have to factor it in. You have to.
Yeah, think about it, Connor. Like the Patriots probably should have lost 2 more. Like if Marshawn just runs the ball in, there's a loss. 28-3. If Atlanta just gets 1 first down the entire
Julian
second
Edelman
half,
with that
Edelman with
fingertip catch.
Look, if Lady Fortune is on your side, that means you're working harder than everybody else, okay? True. So I don't want to hear this about the luck. They went after it more than everyone else, and they proved that they're the best team ever. It is what it is.
Believe me, it disgusts me to agree with you in anything, but this, above all things, I have to. If you give me 1 year, one guy, Tom's the guy.
All right, so the one quarterback that we did not bring up, that no one picked for next year, is gaining a lot of steam. His former teammate Melvin Gordon is bringing it up. A lot of people are actually now around the league talking about Phillip Rivers to the Indianapolis Colts. Do you guys think that makes sense at all?
Why not? Sure.
I do think it makes a lot of sense.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
more than anywhere else we've talked about.
I'm actually changed it from pencil to pen. I think Phillip Rivers is going to live in this city with all 19 of his kids.
They
next
got a
year.
strong running game, a great offensive line. That he takes a beating. He's tough. I mean, he doesn't have to worry about taking that beating now. He doesn't have the arm he used to. But
No.
the Colts have some decent young wide receivers and T.Y. Hilton. You know what I mean? They're everything there makes sense. It doesn't have to throw that huge deep ball like you would in Tampa with Arians.
So I actually heard this morning, and I didn't know this. I believe, and I could be wrong, but I did hear this come out of someone's mouth this morning. Frank Reich was his offensive coordinator for 3 years, and he threw 90 touchdowns in those 3 years that he was with Frank Reich. Oh wow! So they have a past. They have plenty of cap space, and he's not gonna demand a huge number. I think they're number 2 in cap space behind the Dolphins. Jacoby Brissett was okay. But
He was fine till he got hurt.
I think
Yeah.
I trust Phillip Rivers much more than Jacoby Brissett, though.
I do too, and then especially if you're thinking about drafting somebody, I would rather have Rivers there to mentor them than Brissett. And again, I like Brissett. Not saying anything's really wrong with him, but I mean it's a different class. Rivers has been around forever.
Here's the issue. I think at that point, do you keep Brissett? Because I think if you get rid of him, he's due $7 million, or it's $7 million against the cap if you get rid of Brissett.
You always listen. All options are on the table.
But I think if they keep him, what was it, like 15 or 16, something like that,
yeah.
which is a lot of money for a backup quarterback.
Yeah, but they
if that's
have
what he's
the
gonna
money.
Be. They do have the money, but is that gonna? So like all we've heard out of the Colts locker room is that he is a leader in that locker room. If you bring in Rivers and keep Brissett there, is that going to cause a problem in the locker room?
Maybe, but Phillip's such an alpha himself too.
Oh, he is.
And Jacoby's a professional. I don't think he's going to raise a stink about it. I think he's going to know what the situation is, and he's going to want a chance to play too. So it's like if Rivers comes in, potentially gets hurt now that he's older, you got a reliable veteran backup who can come in and you don't miss a beat, and you have the money to pay both of them. I think with what's happened recently with their quarterback play, I don't see a problem with keeping both of them.
Jacoby was also a leader when Luck was there too, and it wasn't really a problem unless we're talking about Brissett being the possible reason that Luck retired. Maybe.
I like the idea of giving Brissett a full offseason with the ones too.
Yeah.
He kind of got thrown in a terrible
But
situation.
Ballard has had some comments after the season that hasn't made me feel like he's completely in on Brissett. Like they've talked about that they are definitely in the market for a quarterback. So it's something to think about. I saw this morning, which I think is just a bunch of smoke and BS. The Dolphins are reporting that they may pass over Tua.
Smoke screen.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think and that they're really high on Herbert.
No way.
No chance.
I know that's got to be just draft stuff where they're like, oh yeah, we're down on Tua, so that maybe possibly other teams will be down on Tua, and they don't have to move up from 5 to 3 to draft Tua. I assume that's all this is that came out this morning. I assume you guys agree.
Yeah, textbook smokescreen.
Textbook. I mean, this is what happens next
This is
week.
the draft, baby.
Next week when the combine is in this city, and we're gonna be out with our noses to the grindstone, trying to fish out all these stories. We're gonna have to sift through stuff like this. This is textbook smokescreen.
Yep.
Another news that popped up this morning about the combine next week. AB apparently is going to be here in town, meeting with teams, meeting with coaches to prove that he is past everything that happened this offseason, this whole entire season, and to get back in the NFL. At this point, I believe it's only a matter of time. I think he's guaranteed to be on a roster next season.
Yeah, I think it's a good move too. It's
a great
I
move.
mean, where else is he going to have the access to? And who knows, like how how much they actually want him there, and how many meetings he's going to get with teams. But if it's just a shot in the dark, I mean, you can do a lot worse than having the 30 guys who make decisions around.
Nick said earlier, and I kind of agree with this, that I think Antonio Brown might think that if he goes to the combine, that he might be able to be drafted in the next draft.
Yeah, I'm gonna run. He'll be there.
All right. After the break, we're going to get to the Astros stuff. We're going to get to more calls, 833-622-3331. You are listening to the Pat McAfee Show, and we appreciate it.
At Simple Mobile, you get the no-contract advantage. Unlimited talk, text, and data now for $30 a month. Now on a 5G-ready network with no activation fees ever. No confusion, no complexity, no frustration, and no contract. Ever, ever, ever. Now get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a month. And now 5G-ready. It's our best deal ever. Buyers now at nationwide retailers or at Simple Mobile dealers. Learn more at simplemobile.com. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. It is 10:38 Eastern. Pat is not here today. He will be back tomorrow. I apologize sincerely. I know this is not what you tuned in for, but we're going to do our best. I am Tony DeGilio, currently steering the ship. I think it's going okay so far.
Crushing it. I love it.
Hey, thanks, Connor. I appreciate that.
Sounds great from back here, my man. Keep going.
People that are not crushing it, Houston Astros in baseball, pretty much. They came out on Thursday with like possibly the worst apologies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And then this story is not, it's definitely, they had a chance to end the story with an apology that was actually good. But after the apology, it's really just picking up a lot of steam over the weekend because a lot of other players are coming out at the Astros about how terrible the apology was and they're coming at Manfred for the lack of discipline for the players.
Right.
Foxy, do you have the video of Cody Bellinger?
Yes, sir.
Can you play that for me, please? Thank you.
I thought the apologies were whatever. I thought Jim Crane's was weak. I thought Manfred's punishment was weak, giving him immunity. These guys were cheating for 3 years. I think what people don't realize is Altuve stole an MVP from Judge in 2017. Everyone knows they stole the ring from us. I know personally I lost respect for those guys. I think I would say everyone in the show, in the big leagues, lost respect for those guys. I don't know what human hits a walk-off home run against Aroldis Chapman to send your team to the World Series. And one has the thought to say, don't rip my jersey off, but two, go in the tunnel, change your shirt, and then come out and do your interview. Like that makes no sense to me. It makes zero sense to me because I know me. Gary Sanchez said yesterday, you can rip my shirt off, my pants off. I sent my team the World Series off for Aroldis Chapman in the ninth inning at home. You can do, I'm going crazy.
All right, so let me defend Altuve there for a second because
good luck.
Oh no, are you becoming the huge Astros fan again?
No.
Okay. Astro Diggs.
I have a unique perspective on this. So it came out this weekend. I believe Correa, who plays for the Houston Astros, said that they didn't rip off his jersey because he had an unfinished tattoo on his collarbone that looked horrendous, and he didn't want it to be shown. I have a horrendous tattoo on my back, and I'm in very, very similar situations a lot of time. I don't like showing it off.
Please, you are the first person to take your shirt off in a party. First.
If I'm in shape, yeah. If I'm in Kirtland shape, then no, the shirt is not coming off.
There's also a photo going around right now of 81 days before he hit the walk-off. Him and a bunch of guys are on the beach. He doesn't have the tat yet, so.
It was unfinished. He'd just get it done. But go ahead. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the whole thing?
Jim Crane is a moron, a buffoon.
Who's Jim Crane?
The Astros owner, GM, whatever. The apologies were just so bad. Like you said, if they would have just been like, yeah, we cheated, it's terrible, we're open and willing to accept whatever punishments are going to be levied against us. But he was saying, we still don't believe it had any impact on us winning. And then, a reporter was like, are you sure? Because you guys cheated. It had a huge impact on you winning. And he immediately says, I never said that. I never said it didn't have a huge impact. Then same thing with Bregman and Altuve. Why were those guys even up there? They went up for 8 seconds, didn't seem remorseful at all, didn't take any questions. Rob Manfred, that stooge.
I know, dude. He's going to be out soon.
And now they're saying that they're going to punish players who intentionally throw at these guys. It's I've never seen people so unanimously pissed off. You never heard anything like this with the steroids. These guys realize this impacted careers, legacies, all that stuff. And to not have to get immunity for it, it's just ridiculous, especially when these guys don't seem like they're showing any remorse whatsoever.
None. And one of the stories that came out was there was a dude who was called up from AAA to play the Astros. He gave up 9 runs in 1 inning, and he's never been in the league again. Was it just a bad day for him? Was he meant to be in the MLB? Probably not. But like stuff like that could have ended people's careers just because they had like
Kershaw in the playoffs. His legacy, like if the Dodgers win that World Series in 2017 and Kershaw, doesn't give up that bomb late in Game 5 or whatever it is, like people are talking about him much differently than they currently are.
Yeah, who came out? Who's the pitcher for the Dodgers?
Yu Darvish.
Yu Darvish just came out because he had a 21 ERA against the Astros in that. They did rob probably the Dodgers of a World Series potentially, and he talked about Judge of an MVP. My thing is like, if you're the Astros and Dusty Baker, you can't come out and be like, the MLB has to protect my players this season from people throwing them. But if you're the Astros, I mean, take one in the back, and improve your on base percentage. Is how I'm
like that.
Get on first and score.
That's right. I mean, that's what I would do.
Well, you reap what you sow. I mean, like these guys have to expect this kind of stuff to happen. Like, again, especially if there's going to be no punishment whatsoever, then guess what? This kind of stuff is going to happen because people are not happy about it.
The Dusty Baker thing, he wasn't there, right?
Exactly.
He wasn't. Yeah, he's been brought. So, like, all he can do is do the best job for his team. So I respect and understand him doing that, going to bat for his players. He's trying to win over that locker room and say, hey, guys, I got your back. Whatever happened in the past, we're trying to move forward. So I think he's in a tough spot, but he's doing the best he can there. And it sucks to say that because I think the guy's a buffoon. He's got a well-documented history of it, but I think he's doing the right thing there.
No, and Correa didn't. He tried sticking up for his teammates, but he didn't do any favors because he came out and said Altuve has never done anything wrong, but he was on the team in the
implicated
reports.
in this.
And then they said that 2017 was the only year, but in the report clearly says that 2018 was also in it. So I mean, he tried, but he didn't do any favors. The people who look the worst in all of this though are the two California Little League teams who are banning the Astros names from their Little League. Like, what are we doing? Like, are you really that offended by what they did that you can't call your team name in your Little League their name anymore?
Astros have a great logo too. I'd be hot if I was a Little Leaguer and we were the Stros. Those new unis.
You have the hat.
I do.
I've been waiting for weeks now to ask you, like, since you're a Yankees fan, but you did buy that sweet hat.
No, he didn't buy it.
Correction, Matt Hasselbeck
Mr.
bought that hat for me.
But I'm trying to get my hands on that hat. I like going against the grain. I'm a little bit contrarian. I'm going to root hard for the Astros this year.
Tony.
See,
I respect that.
You fool!
We can't condone cheating for the nation's youth. I like what this California school did.
We can.
don't get caught.
They're pushing the rules a little bit.
Can you rip the championship away from them? Has that ever happened in professional sports?
USC got their titles taken away, I believe. I know Reggie Bush lost his Heisman.
Professional, though, I don't know if it's ever happened. That's what Rob Manfred, the commissioner, said. Like, well, it doesn't seem to make much sense to ask for a piece of metal back. It's like, well, that's the pinnacle of your sport. Moron.
He has sounded terrible throughout this entire thing. Like when they brought up the collarbone tattoo thing, Manfred was like, "Oh, I didn't even." And the interviewer was like, "Did you ever look at it?" And Manfred was like, "Oh, that's a great point. That's something we should look into." This is pissing off the players. Plus, his new rules that he wanted to do are also making them mad. I would be surprised if he's not pushed out very soon. Connor.
Yes, Tony.
We got any calls back there, buddy?
Oh, yeah, we got a few. Let's go to AJ. He wants to talk to the Astros.
AJ, go.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, pal. Go.
Here we go, AJ.
Hey, I called last week.
Nice.
Awesome,
I'll try this
dude.
one more time, okay?
Okay.
I tried last time. I didn't hear it at all last time. I tried last week. Let's do it. For the millions! Nope.
What's your question?
I didn't hear it all last week. I love it when you guys finish like that. But
what's your question?
Real quick on the Astros, I think it's wrong, right? But I can't really blame the guys because you're talking about millions and millions of dollars just for a better average.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think you can blame them. I mean, it is wrong. But
hey, I hear you, AJ, but we can't blame them.
What are you talking
about?
And
we will.
Here's the thing. Would you respect them more if they just went out and said, yeah, we cheated, we screwed up, we're coming clean now on, and we're just going to go out there and prove that we can do it without cheating?
If they
I think everyone would be like, okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool. If they came out and were like, hey, we make, like AJ actually just said, we make millions and millions of dollars off of how we play baseball. This was beneficial for our lives, for every player on the roster. It might have hurt other players, so it was selfish, and we're sorry for that. and we shouldn't have been done. But, we're going to come out and prove that we didn't need those numbers. That would have been better than what they did, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't know how you can stick it to guys who are using steroids and suspend them 75, 80 games a year, and then you can do something like this, which steroid. Look at how many guys do steroids. Like, not everyone who does steroids is going out and hitting like 50, 60 homers. Like,
no, it's like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is a much more palatable example of guys like, it made them much, much better, and there's no way to test for it.
Incredible word, by the way. Palatable was incredible usage.
Well,
word.
I don't know if it was used correctly.
You know what else I learned from all this?
What's up, pal?
That baseball already started, and that's just bananas to me. Those guys are
spring
maniacs.
training.
Love it.
They do not have a lot of time off.
When's the first game, though?
Pitchers in
End of March.
End of March.
March, wow.
Oh, geez.
End of March, April 1st. Right around there is normally opening day.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
You wouldn't care because Detroit Tigers stink.
Worst team in baseball, baby. I think they have the first pick.
Pirates are coming for you. All right. We don't normally get to do this, but I wanted to give the guy a chance. Nick, do you have any hockey talk news?
Let's go. I actually do because I'm sure you guys didn't see it, but the LA Kings played the Colorado Avalanche in the Stadium Series at Falcon Stadium, the Air Force Academy.
No, they didn't.
On Saturday night. Exactly. No one knows because probably one of the worst marketed events you've ever seen happen. And it was so poorly organized. People didn't show up until about 2 hours into the game because they couldn't park. There are only like 2 entry points into the stadium. People were complaining. They sold it out, 43,000 people, pretty good.
Yeah.
And, all that despite the fact that the LA Kings are the second worst team in the entire league behind the Detroit Red Wings.
Don't
Fox
say
team.
it. Come on. Jeez.
So it's amazing to me that they even got that many people to show up for a game that no one wanted to see because everyone knew Colorado was going to win. And then Colorado didn't win. The LA Kings stunned everybody. Tyler Toffoli with the first hat trick in an outdoor game. Scored with a minute left to go up 2-1, then gets an empty netter 3-1. Good for him. But it's like...
Hold on. I just got a text from Don that we lost half of our listeners during hockey talk.
Oh,
Oh, my God. He's dead. He's dead.
No, I'm kidding.
Best sport in the league. Best sport in the world. Worst league.
Okay, I have a quick question about hockey.
Yeah.
Who's the best team in the league
Right now, the Boston Bruins are.
Who's the best player? Like, who's going to win the MVP or whatever you call it?
Oh, boy, Connor McDavid was on his way, and then he got an injury, and his teammate, Leon Draisaitl, German-born kid up in Edmonton who no one ever talks about. He's like the Malkin to McDavid's Crosby is lighting it up right now.
Okay, and when do the playoffs start?
April, May.
Okay, pretty soon then.
There you go.
Pretty
Don't
soon
worry, the
then.
Wings ain't gonna sniff it.
No, we're going for that number 1 pick.
I mean, if you're the NHL, I'm a fringe fan. I watch the Penguins, and then I would watch a Stadium Series game.
I love those Stadium
else,
Series
If nothing
games.
else is
No,
on.
you guys like
But
the
you
Winter
don't-
Classic, right? And
Well,
that's
yeah.
There it is.
the
Yeah.
the
There it
Stadium
is.
Series is like a reduced fat
That's
version
fine.
of
That's
the Winter
fine.
Classic.
But you don't go. So like, if I, as a casual fan, have the NBA dunk contest versus the NHL outside game, I'm going that way all the time. It's bad scheduling on their part.
It
I
is,
believe.
and it's a terrible choice of teams. I understand LA is a huge market, but it doesn't matter when they plan this. 2 years out, even you could see that LA was not going to be a good team when they do it.
You have any other news?
Yeah, Ovechkin's still trying to get to 700. That's the big story.
Do you have any non-hockey news?
Oh, we got non-hockey news. News we missed?
Yes.
The 62nd annual Daytona 500 has been postponed by rain
We gonna race it on Monday.
for the first time since 2012 and is going to resume today at 4 p.m.
Oh, let's go.
Listen, I tried watching. I tuned in. I saw the presidential car, which is super cool, do like 13,000 laps. He finished the
Cars
Daytona.
were on the track.
He finished the Daytona 500, and then he got called for a little bit of sprinkle. I was going to watch the Daytona 500. I haven't watched one since Jeff Gordon's been out, but I was tuning in because I love when those cars go around and the vibrations. But
it's too bad because Keselowski, his car was looking
Brad
real
was
good.
looking
before
good.
that, and then they had to shelve it. So we'll see. I like Keselowski today.
Junior
really
was
do.
running up front for a while.
Mark Martin, that Valvoline car.
You got anything else?
Yeah, 5-year-old Noah Woods is being named an honorary firefighter and receive a rare Lifesavers Award for his heroics after his weekend at his home in Georgia. Listen to this. He was a 5-year-old kid.
Okay.
He woke his entire family up when he found out the house was on fire. He rescued his 2-year-old sister, jumped back into the house, grabbed his dog, then ran across the street, woke up his uncle, who alerted the rest of the family. Everyone got out safely.
Weapon.
Did he start the fire?
What is he, Billy Joel?
I mean, why is this 5-year-old up and he's the only one who knows that there's a fire going on?
Keen sense of smell.
Yeah, incredible
I
question.
didn't even know
Diggs.
5-year-olds could walk, to be honest with you.
Come on. This guy's a hero.
Diggs, what were you like at 5 years old?
In this guy's 5 years of life,
in the
he's done
oceans.
more than you will ever accomplish.
No, I
Diggs.
agree. 1,000%. This kid is beyond
He
heroic.
even saved the dog.
Yeah, which is probably the most important in a fire.
He should get mandatory A's for the rest of his life.
One more thing before we get to the end of the hour here. Kathy Clages was convicted on felony and misdemeanor counts of lying to authorities during their investigation into former Michigan State University physician Larry Nasser.
Come on,
She could face up to 4 years in prison.
The basketball stinks. The basketball team stinks now too.
Why do we have to end the hour like that?
They're not even gonna make the tournament, probably, Foxy.
No, they'll make the tournament. They're tough right now.
All right. This has been hour 1 of the Pat McAfee Show. As I said, Pat will be back tomorrow, so you only have one more hour of this. It's been a good time, though. All-Star Weekend, NFL, Astros. We might get some XFL talk in the next hour. We'll be back with the phones, too. We appreciate you being here. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
One by one, it's happening. People are freeing themselves from the hassle and frustration of their wireless contracts. It's a movement towards something simple. Simple Mobile. Truly unlimited, high-speed talk, text, and data on a 5G-ready network. And no contract. Ever.
Get truly unlimited data on a 5G-ready network for just $45 a month. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
reminiscing about a present. Gonna be her birthday soon. But a 4-star dinner ain't no real big winner, cause she likes to eat at the Greasy Spoon. Flowers ain't her thing, it's too early for a ring. She don't like to wear perfume. She says, take me to the Speedway, East Tennessee way, Sunday afternoon. Let's go to the racetrack, watch those engines run. That's all she wants to do. It's her way of having fun. She loves the noise and loves the boys going round and round. Let's go to the racetrack, cause she don't like downtown. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Too tight, too loose, and getting in the groove, cutting tires and gas and go. So much info and race car lingo that I just don't know. Junior, Ryan, Matt, and Kyle, she can't get enough. It's a 4-hour ride through the countryside, and man, she's all jacked up. Let's go to the racetrack, watch those engines run. That's all she wants to do. It's her way of having fun. She loves the noise and loves the boys going round and round. Let's go to the racetrack, cause she don't like downtown. She says she's gonna teach me all I need to know. And if that's what it takes, I'm gonna let her have her way, and man, I'm good to go. Let's go to the racetrack, watch those engines run. That's all she wants to do. It's her way of having fun. She loves the noise and loves the boys going round and round. Let's go to the racetrack, cause she don't like downtown. Yeah, let's go to the racetrack, watch those engines run. That's all.
It's the perfect occasion for a mental vacation from the heart of the nation. Not your medication, 2 hours of magic. Let's give it a go. Ladies and gents, it's the Pat McAfee Show. It's the Pat McAfee Show. It's the Pat McAfee Show.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show, Hour 2. I am not Pat McAfee. He is currently on his way back to the mainland. He will be back here tomorrow, so you will have his glorious brain and stylings coming back tomorrow. Today you have to deal with me. I am Tony DeGilio. I am joined by Nick Moraldo playing our great music. Ty Schmidt. Jay is making us sound great. Jay McAfee. Cuban Zeet. Evan Foxy. And Boston Connors on the phones, 833-622-3331. Nick, what was that song we were coming back from?
Okay,
Can you play
so we play hack music here because we don't have the rights to play real music. This one is called Racetrack by Grounds and Juts. And, I thought with Daytona being postponed and coming back today at 4 p.m., if Jay will turn up the volume, you'll be able to hear it. I thought it's a perfect opportunity to play this song.
Let's go racing, boys! All right, that's enough.
Burn that rubber.
We don't want to come back from the second hour and have different markets join and think that we're a NASCAR show because everyone would then turn the dial. We can't have that. So in the first hour, we started with NBA All-Star Weekend. We're going to do that here again. I thought, and we talked about it, the new All-Star game format was great. It seemed like it was the most competitive game that we've seen in a long, long time, especially the fourth quarter. There were 50 fast break points quarter 1 through 3, 0 fast break points in the fourth quarter. Like Giannis was playing serious defense on LeBron. Controversial pin off of the backboard. He did get a clean block, though, on LeBron fadeaway. No LeBron hate here, but I just wanted to get those two things in real quickly.
Of course.
I thought overall the whole NBA All-Star Weekend was great, even though the dunk contest was controversial as well, but it caused us to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wouldn't have talked about it as long as we did if it wasn't like that. I thought, and I said this earlier, I thought Derrick Jones had the more impressive dunks throughout the night, but I did think Aaron Gordon had the best dunk of the night off the side of the backboard. Yeah. And then dunking over Taco was obviously incredible. But Dwayne Wade doesn't know how to add. So Aaron Gordon got
like he said,
screwed there.
Like he said, he had 4 dunks. They were all 50s. How do you lose?
I know. Can you play that, Foxy, actually? We have Aaron Gordon. Yeah, let me get it. No worries. It's fine. Aaron Gordon was not happy because this is the second time that he's been screwed. Go ahead, play it, Foxy.
We're going to do 4 dunks. You know what I mean? So it's out of 4 dunks. It should be the best out of 4 dunks. I did 4 straight 50s. 5 straight 50s. Right. That's over. It's a wrap. You know? Let's go home. 4 50s in a row in the NBA dunk contest. It's over. But I don't know. Who's running the show?
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
Also, Chadwick Boseman looked like he did not want to be there.
That was weird. Yeah, it was very weird how disinterested he looked.
See, that picture tells a lie of what I just said because he looks. I think
yeah,
that might have been
picture
the
makes it
only
look
time
like
that
Scotty's pissed to be there. But no, it's like you know, he may not be the biggest fan or he may not have wanted to do it, but you at least have to pretend like you're
No, like there was dunks where like the other judges would go wild and he would just sit there with a blank stare on his face. I don't know if he wanted to be there. What did you guys think of the dunk contest in All-Star Weekend?
Yeah, I liked it. It was good. I mean, like you mentioned, you know, we don't talk about this kind of stuff for any other sport after it's done, really. So, like, I mean, it's doing its purpose, and obviously, like, the game was more entertaining than it has been in several years. The dunk contest is what it is. You know, it's a good watch on a Saturday night. The Celebrity All-Star Game is an absolute travesty, and they need to figure out something stat to make sure that that's more entertaining.
Would you guys watch a celebrity dunk contest?
Yeah, if they could dunk, like if
lower the rim,
lower the rim.
No, I think
9 foot.
But like, it doesn't have to be. It could be celebrities who can actually dunk. But like, there was times back in the day where like, if you had like T.O. and Randy Moss in a dunk contest,
Dominique Wilkins used to yoke in the Celebrity Game like all the time.
Yeah. But if you had a celebrity dunk contest, I would rather watch a celebrity dunk contest than the Celebrity Game.
How about other sports athletes? So like,
yeah, that would be awesome.
It would have to be that. You can't get a bunch of old farts out there trying to dunk on an 8-foot.
No, you're not going to have.
You'd have to get, you know.
That
like,
might be funny too.
You're not going to have Spike Lee and Jack Nicholson out there doing the dunk
I would watch
contest.
that though.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Bring in the bad boy of bowling. You know, you would crush it.
Pete Weber, that's who you won the dunk contest?
Yeah, in my celebrity dunk contest, absolutely.
Dunks a bowling ball.
And what would he say after he dunked?
Who do you think you are? I am.
I had an idea. So I thought that obviously the fourth quarter was awesome. Yep. Everyone can agree.
Incredible.
They tried very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how can we get them to try very, very hard for every single quarter? And I don't think you can do it strictly because they're never going to want to because of injury possibilities. And this is supposed to be their break. And these are the guys who are playing the most minutes out on any team. So I thought maybe because the $100,000 per quarter and splitting up the quarters and having each quarter kind of be a game was a good start. But I thought, so there's 20 guys, there's 10 players on each roster. If you split those up and did 5 players and you made 4 teams and did a 4-team tournament, and then each game you won at the $100,000 and you got that towards your charity, and then there was a cash prize for like $1 million maybe to the winning team. So each player is getting $200,000 if they win. And it's still, if the winner's only there at that point, you're only playing 3 quarters. Like, and you play till 24, just like they did in the fourth quarter. The winning team only has to play 3 games, 2 games.
Well, it depends if it was like a round robin tournament,
right?
Or or double elimination.
Is that even enough? These guys make so much.
That's
money.
why I don't think
$200,000 still $200,000.
I know, but
I think with like the dunk contest, that's why you incentivize that because those guys are typically players who don't have max deals yet. Like LeBron doesn't need and probably doesn't care about an extra $200,000.
Really
you know, like none of those guys do. But these guys who are like realistically like 8th or 9th men on their team, you know, Aaron Gordon's not, but like Derek Jones, he's not playing meaningful minutes for the Heat really. Like that guy actually benefits from winning $200,000 in the dunk contest.
All right, then they would probably try harder if it was not $200,000 to them, but if it was $200,000
to charity,
to their charity,
right?
I think that would be something. That's just something I thought. Like, how do we get them to do the fourth quarter more? Like, because if the entire game was like that, that's must-watch TV every single year.
What do we think about possibly having a rebuttal at the end? Because I thought the ending on a free throw was kind of soft. And if it's a one-score game, I mean, it'd be pretty electric to have Team Giannis have one
possession to go down and try to tie it.
Yeah, exactly.
I do not hate that at all.
I think a win by 2 rule would be cool. But I think what they did overall, the entire All-Star weekend, best out of any sport for sure. And then when you talk about the dunk contest and Aaron Gordon asks, who runs this thing? I mean, truthfully, if you want it to be good and want it to be legit, No offense to Common, no offense to Chadwick, but you can't have those guys in there. You just can't. You got to have all former NBA players, potentially maybe former guys that won the dunk contest, and then they're actually rating it instead of giving it a bunch of 10s.
I think you bring in the judges that do gymnastics in the world.
The Olympics.
There it is, the Olympics. Thank you.
In the World Games.
I don't hate that.
Bring in some real, and 8.5, 8.7, not just 8s. Then there wouldn't be ties.
I'll tell you what, though, it's driving me crazy the fact that people wanted a tie. Like, people wanted the dunk contest
I'm
to be a
surprised
tie.
that drives
just
you
gotta keep
crazy in your
going.
generation.
Well, come on, Tony. I love basketball. I'm not going to want a tie at the end of that. And I can't believe Dwayne Wade and other people actually suggested it.
Yeah, I think so. Quotes from Common and quotes from Candace Parker is that after Aaron Gordon's dunk over Taco, they were supposed to get the same score that they just gave to Derek Jones so that it would end in a tie, and then they wanted it to go to where the whole panel would then vote on which dunker they thought had the best dunks throughout the entire night. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't have ended in a tie, I guess. And the NBA said they would not have let it end in a tie. I thought Pat Connaughton was robbed. I mean, coming out as Billy Hoyle, he looked just like Billy Hoyle.
Yep.
And then the dunk that he kind of did the same dunk that Aaron Gordon did over Taco, but he did it over Giannis and then touched it off the backboard and dunked it. And I also thought that maybe more than 2 people should make it in the finals. Maybe throw a third person in there.
Yeah, there's no need to have 2 guys eliminated after the first 2 dunks. If you're only doing 4 dunks, it's not going to take that long. You might as well just have all 4 guys do it the entire time.
Yeah. All right. Connor, is there anyone on the phones?
Oh, yeah. We have someone in Canada.
Awesome.
Gumpy, I believe.
Gumpy, you there?
Hello.
Gumpy.
Hey, pal.
Hey.
How we doing, boys?
For people who don't normally listen to the show, Gumpy actually kind of works here.
Oh, it's Gumpy?
Kind of doesn't. I don't know what I can
come on.
legally
Full time.
say because he's an illegal immigrant when he's here.
Smart.
But he's in Canada right now, so technically we could take this call. What do you got, pal?
Hey, I got a take on the Dodgers.
Oh, we did that last hour.
Pal.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Go ahead. What is it?
Done. I'm done with them.
Why are you out on the Dodgers?
Hey, Bellinger, don't bat 143 in the World Series.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hey, you, Darvish, don't give up 5 runs at home in LA in Game 7.
Anything else?
That's a good point.
They beat the Yankees and the Red Sox to get to the World Series. You hear them complaining that they were robbed of a World Series?
You're making good points that I'm not going to argue.
But I also like that someone is saying it.
Yes, yeah.
I agree with you, Gumpy, but
I know. Yeah.
What do you think?
I thought Correa was wrong in what he said, but at least he said something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I said in the first hour. Like, Correa did not help his teammates by saying that Altuve had the tattoo on the collarbone, and he said that Altuve has never done anything wrong, and he said that they didn't do anything after 17, which all are most likely lies. He was trying to stick up for his team, but he just didn't do a good job of it. But no, I appreciate at least somebody, other players coming out and saying something.
He stood up there for 9 minutes. Like, that was a 9-minute interview with Rosenthal. I mean, it sucks. They cheated. It stinks, but I don't know. I don't know what obviously Bregman and Altuve just made it worse, and the owner, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had, a total of 45 seconds of apologies that were just horrendous.
Yep, something like that.
Hey, thanks for the call, Gumpy. I will talk to you later for our Good, Better Bets betting podcast that you can catch every day on iTunes.
Attaboy, Tom.
Hey, you guys are doing great.
Thanks,
guys are
pal.
doing great.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, we got any other callers, Connor?
Oh, yeah. We got a few. We actually have the GM for the Vipers, Eddie from Tampa.
Oh, no.
You know what? We didn't do XFL in hour 1, so we might as Eddie, what do you got, pal?
Good morning, fellas. Definitely don't want to talk about the Vipers after another loss.
Hey, did you see that play where the Vipers
the
Eddie, did you see that play where the Vipers quarterback threw it directly into the defensive lineman's hands in the end zone, and then the Vipers lost?
Obviously, that was terrible, especially after getting beat for that post by Keenan Reynolds, too, that just got the Seattle home fans just going crazy.
All right, so what was your question?
Breathing fire, baby. I told you, the Dragons.
I don't necessarily have any questions. I just want to talk about the XFL. Definitely Sunday night, I think, was probably the best game the Battlehawks and the Renegade.
Yeah.
Philip Walker looks great. I mean, honestly, electric, really athletic quarterback getting out there. Even showed some Mahomes on that sidearm throw.
It did. Thanks for the call, Eddie. I appreciate it.
That guy knows his stuff,
He
man.
does. And
he knows every player.
He is the biggest XFL fan out there.
Shareholder.
XFL this weekend. I watched a little bit. The games on Saturday were tough. Here's the thing with these leagues, and it's actually a problem in the NFL when quarterbacks get hurt. When bad quarterbacks are playing, it's just the product is tough to watch.
Yeah.
Like, there are plenty of times when there are wide receivers open and these guys are just missing them, and it takes away from the game a lot. Like Josh Johnson, who was an NFL quarterback, is just missing wide open throws. I guess my quarterback for the Roughnecks, I guess it's PJ Walker now, even though he's Philip Walker his entire career, but now he's PJ Walker. I do not like that. It's clear that our two teams.
You don't like a guy changing his name?
No, I do not.
That's
I've never changed
ironic. Change your name on Twitter every month.
Don't worry about me. We knew that the two best teams were going to be the DC Defenders and the Roughnecks.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
And that's what's happening.
Is that very clear? I haven't watched, so I have some questions.
It's very clear.
So we have two teams that are dominant, DC Defenders, Houston Roughnecks.
Yes.
It's to the point where it's almost like a detriment to the league. Like, there's no way. It doesn't seem like the teams are that competitively balanced. Like, these are the two teams that are going to be playing for the McMahon Cup.
Okay, I got another question. Are there any players that are sticking out that could be like, oh, that guy could potentially be in the NFL? Is it too early for that?
I mean, 12 gauge could start for, the
12 gauge.
about 6 teams.
and he's
right
on the
now.
Defenders.
Yes, 12
Is he
gauge
locked
could
in?
definitely be a backup quarterback easily in the NFL.
Yeah.
Philip Walker has shown that he was definitely a good backup quarterback in the NFL. I mean, there's some wideouts out there. Like Eli Rogers was on the Steelers for a few years. He's playing well.
He skipped his mom's funeral for the game.
Excuse
Did you
me,
see that?
what?
What?
He skipped his mom's
For the
funeral
love of
for the
football.
game.
That's
for
the
the love of
XFL.
football. He
It's
wrote
like,
a
oh,
letter
baby.
to his family to be read at the funeral. He said, "My mom and I had a special relationship, and she would have wanted me to be here and play today." I thought it was mind blowing to me. It was impressive.
And then there's
I'm buying a jersey.
there's some good running backs who've been in the league.
Okay.
Like Lance Dunbar is out on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Cameron Artis-Payne?
Yeah.
Who scored yesterday? I mean, there's definitely some names that you know.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've heard of all those guys. Okay, well, how about this? Out of all the new rules, what one seems to be working the most? Are people actually going for 3-point
No,
plays?
I haven't
not
seen
really.
one 3-point play. It's
The
either
field
one or two.
The field access is still the best. Like Matt McGloin yesterday, had played one of the worst halves of football ever, and then says to
What a
Diana
stooge,
Rossini, Diana Rossini said, we need to change everything about our offensive game plan, and then he got benched because he said that. Like that stuff, and them going up and like talking to guys after they throw picks. And, like that is still a really cool part.
And then
of
they
it.
had McGloin on the sideline like, this is the worst game I've ever been a part of in my entire life.
But people are loving the kickoff, right?
That's my favorite thing. Because the kickoff is way safer, and I get the same excitement as, I don't know if excitement's the word, but I get the same satisfaction.
Has anyone brought it back to the house yet?
No.
No.
I haven't really seen anyone get past like the front wall yet. But I mean, that happens a lot in kickoffs. How often does it get past the 25 normally? I don't mind the rules, and I'm excited to get Pat's opinion on this, because if you punt it and it's a touchback, it normally goes out to the 35, I believe. So it's actually, they're putting more penalties on kickers and punters for when they mess up. Because if you kick it and it doesn't make it to the 20 on a kickoff, it goes out to the 35. If it goes out of bounds when you punt it, it goes out of the 35. So like, they're encouraging returns, but they're also putting a lot on the punters and stuff like that. It's definitely the best league that's come so far, besides the NFL. It's still not even close to the NFL.
Well, and with the gambling, that's still like that. You can tell, like, the odds makers have no idea how to handicap these games.
Ooh.
Like, I mean, the Defenders -7, they win by 27, like, and looked like a much better team the entire time. Like, they have no idea what to do with these games. So honestly, if you're looking to bet, like, this is the perfect thing to do, because I think you have a little bit more of an advantage. Yeah, like
Eddie in Tampa.
Eddie should be putting his mortgage on.
He's the most knowledgeable XFL person of all time.
Yeah,
he knows what's going to happen in these games. He could be making classic me. I have done parlays both weekends, all 4 games on the under.
Mhm.
Both weekends, 1 game has gone over.
Yep.
So,
Okay, one more question.
Okay.
How are the fans in the stadium? Are they actually filling up, or is no one going to these
they
games?
are filling. Like the Seattle stadium was packed.
You're damn right.
Seattle packed stadium.
I mean, now if they'd stop broadcasting our coaches' plays live on live television, it's like it's
I mean,
screwed out of
Jim
wins.
Zorn had no idea his plays were going to be broadcast, and he did not
Listen,
enjoy
Zorn
that.
couldn't coach his way out of a wet paper bag, so he's already at a disadvantage enough. We don't need our plays broadcast for the other teams to hear.
I was watching Norm Chow was ready to come down to the field and fight his quarterback yesterday.
I did see one of the biggest beer pyramids or snakes of all time.
Those are Defender fans, I believe.
Nice.
Seattle shows up for everything, whether it's the Sounders, the Seahawks.
They need a basketball team.
The Vipers. Is that their name? Dragons.
They're getting a hockey team.
Ooh.
The Kraken.
So,
Sounds
I
like it's gonna be
mean,
the Kraken.
XFL all around has been, it's actually been better than I thought it would be.
Their social team's incredible.
They do have a good
I
social
love seeing
team.
inside the locker room the team that wins. They're shotgunning beers and stuff. That's pretty
The
cool.
big Bud Light Seltzer people.
Yeah.
Inside
Seltzer
the-
Lounge?
Have
Yeah. What were you saying, Foxy?
No, I was going to ask if you guys had those, but no one cares.
We have not had those yet.
What, the Bud Light Seltzers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh,
had.
yeah.
They stink, remember?
Yeah, we had.
They stink.
No White Claw.
All right. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to get into some XFL news. We're going to continue with the calls. 833-622-3331. Make them good. They've been pretty good so far, actually, which we appreciate. Pat is out. He will be back tomorrow, and we appreciate you listening.
At Simple Mobile, you get the no contract advantage. Unlimited talk, text, and data now for $30 a month. Now on a 5G ready network with no activation fees and no contract ever. That's our best deal ever. Simple Mobile, out with the old, in with the simple.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show, 11:24 Eastern, Monday, February 17th. Happy President's Day. Shout out all the presidents for doing presidential things since 1776. Could be wrong there.
Well said.
No, you got it.
Nailed it. I knew it. This is the Pat McAfee Show. I am not he. Pat will be back tomorrow, so save all your mean tweets. He'll be back tomorrow, okay? Doing the best we can here.
You're doing great, Tony.
Thanks, Foxy.
Hey, keep it going, Tony.
It's Evan Fox, everyone in the back room, everyone out here. Shout out everyone. This is a group collective effort today. And I think we're doing a pretty damn good job. What do you guys want to talk about? NFL? Good. All right. Here's what I want to talk about the NFL because I think this is the most intriguing thing going on right now. Phillip Rivers to the Colts.
Who says no?
I don't.
Is he really going to move his family from L.A.?
He doesn't have to.
Florida, to Indiana.
He doesn't have to move his family there. He's going to be there for 1 year, probably.
I think he did say, didn't he tell someone that he's committed to playing 2 years max?
Yeah, he's going to be there. He's going to be there 2 years. He could be a traveling dad for 2 years. I mean, he's already driven 3 hours, 6 hours a day to practice from San Diego to L.A. You know, maybe he just takes his private jet from Florida to Indy every day for practice.
Yeah, my guess would be that the move from San Diego to Florida is final for his family.
Correct.
I'm sure he's talks about that with his wife. Like he wasn't, they weren't going to do that, and then he was like, "Oh, what? You know, Andy wants me. Let's pick up and move." Like that's not going to happen. I think you're right. I mean, if he does come here, you know, he'll get a nice little condo, and then he'll be here for 16 weeks out of the year. And that's
also,
it.
we're rooting for him to come here so he can come sit on the chatting couch over there and have a couple conversations with us.
I mean, Phil would be a great guest. I think on the field wise, it makes sense too.
I was just going to ask, do you think Indianapolis wants Phillip Rivers?
Yeah, I mean, they said, who's the owner? Jim Irsay and Ballard said that Jim Irsay said they're in the quarterback market, and Ballard hasn't really said that they're not in the quarterback market.
Right.
And that's why Tom has been linked here, which is not happening. Can't see that happening.
No way.
Phillip has been linked here, which I think makes a lot of sense. I also think Teddy Bridgewater makes a lot of sense here.
That's the one I like.
Because Teddy, at least, then you can build a future with. Because Teddy's still young. Like, he could be here for 6, 7, 8 years. Phil's going to be here for probably 2 max based on how old he is. So, if you're Ballard, do you think you're one quarterback away from making the Super Bowl for those and having that for 2 years and spending around Phil? Or do you pay Teddy and then think that he's your quarterback for the future?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because I think a major concern with Phil, too, is you look at the weapons he had in L.A. and the way he still performed. You know, had a lot of turnovers. Like, the weapons in Indy aren't as good as the guys he had in Los Angeles.
No, they're not.
So they're still going to have to go out and get a couple guys to improve in that aspect. So I think Teddy Bridgewater, I think you're right. I think that makes more sense just because you see what you got with this year, and then you have him for the next potential 8 to 10 years.
Here's the thing: if it's Teddy and you're Chris Ballard and you make that decision, you have to be 100% sure that Teddy can get the job done because you're not going to get many more chances with a starting quarterback, especially once someone like Teddy who's young enough that you're going to have to pay him big money and commit to him long term. With Rivers, it's kind of like a stopgap where you can draft a guy.
It's true.
You can pursue the market again next year if you had to. I feel like there's more flexibility there with Rivers.
Yeah, there's definitely more flexibility. And the thing with the Colts is they have the second most salary cap space. I think they have like $90 million in salary cap space and they didn't spend any last year. So if you bring in a guy like Phil and you want to bring in for this 2-year window high price salary free agents, then like that's the move, I think.
Now, he said to us in the past they have to be the right fit. They have to fit
correct.
the culture and everything. So it's not like he's just going to be out there shopping for mercenaries. He's calculated in that.
And I think Rivers is as much of like a plug-and-play guy as anyone out there. Like, I think he's pretty well-respected around the league. Like, you're not going to have to worry about that. He would be able to, I think he's very malleable, like, in that locker room.
I agree. Connor, do we have anyone on the phone?
Oh, yeah. We got a few on the phones. Let's go to Addison in Indiana. He's got an idea for the NFL. I think you might like it, Tony.
Addison, talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Tony?
What's up, Al? What's going on?
Everyone's doing a great job today.
Thank you.
Addison,
Daddy.
boy.
All right. Anyways, so I think like mostly this idea would like work for Jameis Winston because like no one knows what to do with him, and I feel like this is the second year in a row of like giving him his quote unquote last year to prove himself. So, so before I became a big football guy, I was a big soccer guy, and they have these things in soccer called loan deals,
Also
where
football.
the player still belongs to a certain team,
Correct.
but that team can loan him out to another team to, like, if he's not getting enough playing time, but they still think he's an asset and they want to let him unlock his potential, then they can just loan him out, and then say he does really well, they can either bring him back or the other team can just buy him. So it's kind of just a win-win either way.
Thanks, Addison. I appreciate that. And you know what? That's
Novel idea.
That's nice outside the box thinking. Here's the thing, though, and here's where I think something like that would be cool is like when Big Ben got hurt last year. Then you could go out and maybe, but that was so early in the season. So it might say your quarterback gets hurt week 12 and you're 8-4 or whatever you are. You're in the hunt, 7-5. And you go out and you go to the Tampa Bay Bucks, who are at that time 3-9, 2-10 or something like that. And then you get Jameis loaned to that playoff team for the rest of the year. That could be something that seems difficult. And it seems because in soccer there's so many players.
Well, and there's so many leagues, right? That's like the big thing. Like, how would this pan out if it's like a guy like Jameis? Let's say he goes somewhere and then lights the world on fire 2 weeks. What? They can just bring him back? Like,
Right.
Then that throws that team who had him into complete disarray moving forward. Like, it's too messy.
There's a lot of moving
Also,
parts.
like if you loaned Teddy Bridgewater somewhere, and then let's say Drew Brees gets hurt, can you just take him right back?
Right.
I am not versed incredibly on the international soccer rules, so I'm not positive. It's you know what? I like the idea. I like thinking
it.
outside of the box.
Yeah, absolutely.
Novel idea. for
Connor,
sure.
who else do we got?
We have CJ in the dirty jersey. He wants to talk about Joe Judge.
CJ, go.
Diggs, how we doing?
Good, pal. Go.
You guys are doing great. Just wanted to let you know.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, what do you guys think I should expect from Joe Judge in year one?
Well, Connor.
I mean, you can expect a top 10 special teams. You know that for a fact. And, I mean, I personally think that he's going to do pretty good. After that press conference, they got a young, good quarterback in Dan Jones, who's now the guy, talk about a whole offseason going in as the number one. I mean, I love where the Giants are at. I mean, they're one of my favorites to win the Super Bowl next year.
So with Judge, all we've heard from players who have played with him and coaches who have coached with him on this show is that he is a very high energy guy and very detail oriented. So if he can channel that from what he did with special teams to the whole team, they think he's going to do well. I know he said he came in and he wanted to be a blue collar, play defense, run the ball guy. So, we'll see. I think that fits with Saquon. I think their defense needs to get a lot better if that's what they want to do. But you know what? I honestly don't have a lot of Joe Judge information.
Yeah, I mean, Pat's high on him, so
Right,
I take that as a huge check mark for him. It's like he's got pieces, but they're the wrong pieces, I think. He's got a quarterback and a running back, which most new coaches would want, but he doesn't have anything else. Like, I think you need a defense. I don't think expectations should be too high, but he's got to come in and flip that culture around a little bit. So you might see some big-time success and big-time fireworks pop off with Saquon and Jones. But again, he needs the rest of the team around him, so it's going to take some time to get those players.
It's also interesting because he has two guys who were head coaches last year on his staff.
Yeah,
so
which helps a lot.
Yeah, it does. And if things don't go well, though, I wonder, like, do you see Jason Garrett trying to, jockey for position?
I don't think so. He's such a loser.
Well,
but it's good to have that guy to
Jason
lean
Garrett, he's fine just being in the corner and watching.
You
stuff.
definitely don't have to worry about Freddie Kitchens. I mean, he's a stooge and a buffoon. But
but he could call Freddie in the office and be like, "Hey, tell me exactly what you did last year, and I'm going to do the opposite."
That's true. It's just is Jason Garrett the guy that's going to get Daniel Jones to the next step? Because that's the most important thing, right?
Is he the guy that got Dak to the next step? You don't know,
right?
Some may say,
or Romo. You don't know.
They did have quarterback success with quarterbacks who were not high draft picks,
right?
And Daniel Jones is a high draft pick, so maybe. I mean, they do have some talent. Like Evan Ingram is very talented. Sterling Shepard's not bad. They had Slayton, who broke out this year.
They have Golden Tate still.
Yeah, I think they're good. I think they have potential on offense. It's the defense where they, I think, need to shore some stuff up. Any more calls? We'll do one more before break, Connor.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to Keenan in Rochester, New York. Keenan, what's up, dude?
What's up, fellas? Doing a phenomenal job. Love it.
Thanks, Keenan.
just wanted to ask, okay, so building off of the caller 2 callers ago,
okay,
having it like a soccer style where the top 2 teams from the XFL would be promoted to the NFL and the bottom 2 teams from the NFL would be relegated to the XFL. What are your thoughts?
So it's funny you call and ask about that. We were actually talking about that during the break. The only issue with that is we think the talent level from the bottom 2 NFL teams to the top 2 XFL teams is so far apart that would be criminal to put those 2 teams into the NFL. Like the proposed thing going around the internet is the bottom team of the NFL plays the top team of the XFL, and if the XFL team beat them, then they'd be in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the same conversation we have with college teams playing NFL teams. It would be an absolute bloodbath.
I mean, look at the Niners. The Niners would have beat every team by 50 if they were in the XFL.
Yeah, the Niners went from the second worst team to the Super Bowl. So it's a fun theory.
It's also a little wonky with the money. You got guys in the XFL making $50,000, and then you got $1 billion franchise.
Yeah, I mean, we're
in,
talking about NFL franchises that are worth hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars for most of them. So it's like,
who's the top pick? The Cincinnati Bengals. Imagine like AJ Green. Imagine Tyler Boyd. Imagine
No way.
Anything's possible, baby.
Hey, that's what I was going to ask next.
Imagine
though.
those guys playing in the XFL. It would never happen. The NFL would never agree to it.
I haven't watched a lot of the XFL, so I'm not sure. But like, would LSU dominate these XFL teams?
Probably.
I do think that LSU team would beat every team in the XFL.
That LSU team, incredible.
Very
though.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think probably the top 10 teams would beat the XFL,
or at least fare very well.
Yeah. I mean, that's similar talent. It's very similar talent.
Right.
That I'd say the XFL would compete pretty well in college football. They'd be top 25 for sure.
Because that's who the majority of these players are, like kind of the tweeners who
Correct.
went to smaller schools, didn't get drafted or want a practice squad. Like you have, LSU and Alabama and places like that. Like these are loaded with guys who are going to get drafted in like the top 4 rounds of the NFL draft.
Because like a lot of these XFL teams are ex-NFL players who actually played, who actually got some playing time in the NFL. They weren't like in training camp and cut. A lot of the players actually played in NFL games.
See, are you excited to see Mitch Trubisky quarterback the LA Wildcats?
Hey, he's going to dominate the league, though.
All right, let's go to a break, our final break. On the other side, we'll do more calls. We got the Astros, we got XFL, we got news with Nick. Any more all-star stuff that we want to cover. Apparently Tomlin is on TV right now, sawing down everybody. So we'll come back from the break with all that. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
It's happening. People are freeing themselves from their wireless contracts. It's a movement towards something simple.
Get truly unlimited data on a 5G-ready network for just $45 a month, with no contract ever. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show, 11:43 a.m., Monday, February 17th. Happy President's Day. Pat is not here. He will be back tomorrow. So, cool with all the angry comments and stuff like that. I have feelings, too. I am Tony Diggs. It's been a great day so far. Nick, is there anything that we have missed that we need to talk about in the news?
News we missed. SpaceX is set to launch its first astronauts into space from the U.S.
Wait. They haven't been launching astronauts?
No, just rockets. They've been working on getting the Falcon rocket to land perfectly straight up back on the landing pad. They've mastered that, it seems. So now the next step is to put live humans in there, shoot it up, bring it back down safe.
Are they going to the moon?
I doubt it.
Why?
We've already been there, allegedly.
Whoa!
This is Elon Musk's company?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I watched a really good movie. It's called Ad Astra.
Oh,
Incredible
Space
movie.
Monkeys.
It's an incredible movie. And they have an entire airport on the moon. So why wouldn't we go
That
back to the moon?
movie
and have it?
stunk. I felt bad for
I
Brad.
love Brad Pitt, but that movie was horrendous. Anything else?
So the Crown Prince of Dubai, Hamdan bin Mohammed, also goes by Faza, which is the name under which he publishes his poetry.
Faza! What's his poetry name?
Faza, and it means the one who helps.
Hello, Faza.
He's a bit of an
Faza,
extreme
can I get you
sports
some
junkie.
milk?
He's been known to jump off skyscrapers, enjoys deep sea diving, and jetpacks. So recently he put a video on his Instagram, I believe, of one of the newest jetpacks in development in Dubai.
Do we have Faza's
And
video?
I think we have the video if you guys want to run it. This jetpack is insane. I know Pat's been itching to get one of these things. I think this is the one you got to get.
The normal jetpacks are, this guy's
basically got a hang glider with four
He looks
jet
like-
engines strapped to it.
he looks like Mothra.
Hooked on his back.
Dude, putting the thing down too, saying like, "Oh, you guys haven't seen anything yet."
And he shoots off to probably about 6,000 feet in the air, just right over the
He's
skyline
going
of Dubai.
307 miles an hour. He's on the moon right now.
Yeah,
as we
SpaceX is
speak.
going to be catching up to this guy while he's already up there.
He's got a GoPro on his helmet, too. We need that footage.
He got to a cruising altitude of like 48,000 feet in like 10 seconds.
There's no way he's not. How do you land that thing?
You die.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's up there on the moon right now, waiting for SpaceX to get back.
I've
get there
seen
so he can bring him
everyone
back.
on the internet has already been tweeting this at Pat. I assume he's not awake yet out there on the Pacific time in the islands. When he sees that, be ready.
That was
How
incredible.
much do you
That
think
thing
that
might be
thing
here
cost?
next week.
That thing has
It's
to
a
be
fighter jet. How much does a fighter jet
That's what I'm
cost?
saying. Like $140 billion.
Wait till we're dog fighting with those things.
Oh.
Connor,
Tony.
is there anyone on the phones?
Oh, yeah. Actually, the phones have been off the line today. I mean, I can't even explain to you how many calls we've gotten.
I just don't know if that makes sense.
It
but go ahead.
definitely doesn't. Let's go to Matt in Maryland. He's got a dunk contest question.
Matt, what's up?
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Good. What's
Good.
going
How
on?
are you?
Tony, I would just like to say you're doing a great job.
Thanks, pal. Appreciate that.
Hey.
What's up?
Right, so I want to give my 2 cents on the dunk contest.
Okay.
Everyone's saying that Aaron Gordon got robbed. He didn't.
Okay.
That's all I got to say.
Oh, that was your 2 cents?
So,
Attaboy, Matt.
He jumped over Chance about 3 times.
He did. Too many times.
Yeah, it was way too many times. And he copied Derek Jones, I think, on one of the dunks.
He did.
And yet he still got 5 50s in a row. So I don't understand why. I mean, I am a Miami Heat fan. I might be a little biased, but that's all I got to say. Aaron Gordon was not robbed.
Appreciate
Matt.
it. You and Dwayne Wade on the same page there. I also said earlier that I thought Derek Jones's overall performance was better than Aaron Gordon's.
Do you think there was some sympathy for what happened to him last time when he got robbed?
There
so
might have
maybe the points were juiced a little.
He's
he's still impressive.
He's
still
also a very good dunker.
Yeah.
Ultimately, who cares? As long as they're sweet,
Bingo.
as long as they're sweet dunks, like I don't care who wins the trophy.
And I believe that him actually coming second these both times will probably be more talked about than if he would have won both times.
100%.
Yeah, you know what, though? This can only be good for the dunk contest because if you make it seem like the players care and they're invested, more guys are going to want to participate.
True.
Okay, here's my question to you guys because we haven't talked about the 3-point contest at all. Did you guys enjoy watching that more or the dunk contest
I said
more?
Buddy Hield won. I said it.
sorry.
3-point contest
No, I'm
for sure.
kidding. You like the three-point better?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, like Ty
They're so
said,
different.
they're only doing, what did we see? 16 dunks in total?
I like the skills competition a lot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Connor, who did you bet on to win the 3-point contest?
Devin Booker.
How did that go?
like you said, Tony, Buddy Hield made the last shot to beat him, so it went well. It was a very good time to watch that.
I was surprised that every guy was having a very tough time making the Mountain Dew ball.
I
don't know if they juiced the Mountain Dew ball.
I loved it.
Soaked them in dew before
Yeah,
they
it was a little sticky.
There was just dew and Cheetos all over them.
That was a big factor in winning, though. That could get you 6 points.
I know, which is kind of ridiculous.
It is.
Foxy, how many bricks would you have checked up if you were?
I mean, hey, did you guys see that one guy from the Charlotte Hornets that I've never heard of? First shot, air ball, third shot
way.
off the side of the backboard.
Are you
that guy
serious?
was so nervous. It made me feel so good about missing a couple jumpers in this office here.
Maybe we get him on the show. You two compete.
I mean, I would love to after seeing that. It was unbelievable. And then he got a little hot, though. No disrespect to him.
Connor, next caller.
Next caller, we have Chris in Delaware.
Chris, what's going on?
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Good. You? What's up?
Two things. The first 3-pointer made in the XFL was this past weekend by I think the LA Wildcats.
Yeah, we did. We did get fact checked on that. We were incorrect that there wasn't one yet.
Yeah, I heard you guys talk about it. I just want to chime in on that. And also, the Tom Brady talk. I'm a Patriots fan. I would love for him to come back to New England.
Boy, Chris.
I know salary cap. I think they only have about 30 to 40 million salary cap this next season. And also, like, bringing in key components for him. Like, I heard AJ Green's out there.
He is.
Heard there's talks and rumors about that. Just for you guys to talk about that and chime in on your opinion. Thanks,
Patriots have $41 million in cap space, and if they're talking about giving Tom 30, I don't know how much is guaranteed, how much goes against the cap. They do not have a lot of room.
You're gonna have to do some shuffling.
Yeah,
some rearranging,
You're
some
gonna have to-
restructuring.
you're gonna have to cut some guys.
You're gonna lose some good players from that defense if you do it. too.
Yep.
I personally, and I've said this since the beginning, I want Tom to go to Vegas. I want Tom and Gruden to be together. Vegas came out this week and said that they're going to offer him 2 years, $60 million.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be great for the Raiders kicking off Las Vegas with Tom Brady as their quarterback.
I agree. I have a question for you, Connor. So let's say that the Patriots bring back Brady, and then they also bring in Eric Ebron. Is that enough of? Does that ensure that Tom's going to be happy? Is that the weapon he's looking for? And if they get a guy like that, I mean, they're not going to be able to get a bunch of pieces if they pay Tom this. So, like, is that enough to get them back over the hump?
See, I don't think Ebron's going to get us to the Super Bowl by any means, but I like where your head's at, because if we get Ebron and then we draft a guy like, I don't know, Thaddeus Moss, then all of a sudden we have that 2 tight end Titans back in the league. But I also like Austin Hooper. We've seen it with Revis. We've done a little 1 year, use a mercenary, get him for 1 year, pay him, I don't know, $10, $11 million. That's
all you're going to have.
You don't have
no other free agents?
I mean, those are the only ones that are on my radar, because Hunter, we don't have much money, and Hunter Henry's going to get paid. AJ Green's going to get paid. That's why I have hope in the 1 year deal that we could possibly mangle up. But I guess
the best
Ebron.
bet is a trade route. You're gonna have to, and Belichick's good at trades. We know it, so he can look around and see if there's some team he can fleece, give up a couple picks. They always have a ton of picks.
Especially if Brady's coming back, then you're trading for the next 2 years. You're worried about winning again in those next 2 years, and then they both retire. And at that point, who cares what happens to the organization?
Well, I have faith in the draft. I mean, we should all keep in mind here that Bill is unbelievable at drafting.
Is he?
Yeah, and N'Keal Harry, he finished the year pretty well. He could have a much better second year playing an entire season, actually knowing the playbook. So plenty of faith still here.
Just the longer this lingers on, why wouldn't he just commit to coming back already? Like, they know they need better offensive weapons. They know it. Bill knows it. Kraft knows it. Tom knows it. If you're going to come back, why haven't you committed already? Why are you still doing this dance?
You know what?
Because Vegas seems awful tasty right now.
Yeah, it does.
if you have the world on a string,
it's awfully tasty. It is hot.
Brady has the world on a string right now. Why wouldn't
Giselle might get a residency in Vegas if she
a little
wins.
bit of the bubbly.
That's a good point.
And you're right, N'Keal Harry did dominate. He had 7 games, 12 catches, 105 yards. You're absolutely spot on.
Hey,
there.
he's figuring it out. He's getting there.
All right, let's do another call before the show ends.
We have Simeon in Missouri.
Way to sound those out, pal. Simeon, what's going on?
I'm glad to be on the show. I have a question about the XFL.
Okay.
I'd much rather have a question about the NFL, but
that's on
it's
you.
About where the league, it's about where the league is heading. Like, it seems that this year they're getting more popular than what it was when they tried, I don't know how many years ago. But, like, what will it take for them to become a feeder league?
You know what? I appreciate the question, Simeon. Good luck with that cold.
Yeah, take a Mucinex, dude.
We shouldn't have done that. We talked about it last week when AJ Hawk was here because we talked about how freshmen and sophomores from college could go to the XFL. I think they become more of a feeder league if that starts happening more often. If freshmen and sophomore are in situations in college that they're not happy with, and then they go to the XFL and then they get drafted from the XFL, that's the only way I could see it becoming more of a feeder league.
Well, it'd also be interesting, too. So, like, if you go play in the XFL, since that's technically a professional league, do you lose your eligibility in the NCAA?
I would assume so. The NCAA is not going to want people going to the XFL
Bouncing
and then
between
bouncing
the
back
two.
and forth.
Yeah, you get paid. I'm pretty sure it's against the violations or whatever.
All right. Not a bad day. This was the Pat McAfee Show. Like I said, Pat will be back tomorrow. The same great time, same great place. It'll be much better tomorrow, but we appreciate you hanging out with us today. All-Star Game, NFL, Astros, XFL, Hockey Talk, News with Nick.
Yeah,
I think we covered it all. Like I said, be back tomorrow. We appreciate you hanging out with us today. This was the Pat McAfee Show.